Good afternoon, and welcome back to another episode of Maddie's Rap, where we talk to you about topics that guys talk about. You know, sports, no politics. Guys talk about politics, but I'm trying to stay away from politics, though I will talk about social issues every now and then. And, different things: food, women, cars, money, that kind of thing. But anyway, we're going to get right into it today. Now, if you watched my last episode of Maddie's Rap, you know I talked about sports. The topic was sports. We talked about the Wimbledon men's final, and why the tiebreak in tennis tends to go in favor of the baseline defender. I wasn't going to talk about sports again with the next episode, but I read something this morning that has prompted me to just skip topics and go right back to sports. And that topic is none other than this comment that was made by one Billie Jean King, okay? So and this was in reference to Serena Williams and, perhaps why she hasn't won a Grand Slam in the last 5, 6, 7, 8 tries, whatever. Look, I'm going to title this episode, Billie Jean is not my life coach, all right? And you're going to know why by the end here. So stay tuned to the end. I'm going to try to make this one brief today. All right, so if you've been following the sports news and the news out of Wimbledon and out of the professional tennis sports world, you know that Billie Jean King, who is famous, iconic American female tennis player, made a comment. She told Serena, or she said in the media, that perhaps Serena needed to, and I'm going to paraphrase it, she pretty much said she needed to stop all of the side stuff she does and just focus on tennis if she wants to win, if she wants to tie Margaret Court's record of 24 Grand Slams and possibly break it not long afterward. Now, if you know, Serena Williams has 23 Grand Slams. She surpassed Steffi Graf with her last title. Steffi Graf had 22. Serena was tied at 22. She surpassed Steffi Graf for the most wins in the Open era by a female tennis player. So in fact, she's got the most slams of anyone, male or female, in the Open era. Now, Margaret Court was playing before the Open era, so she has one more than Serena has right now. But let's get back to Billie Jean King. Billie Jean said Serena needed to focus, okay? So let me just say this, okay? There are players out there that are following Billie Jean King's advice, not that she advised them, but the advice that she gave Serena. They're training harder than Serena. They're training 2 times as hard as she is, doing all these other things. And look, they're not getting to the final either. Okay, so let's just think about this for a minute. Serena needs to stop and focus if she wants to win number 24. Well, what about all of these other girls that are focusing like she should be, and they're not winning? Okay, what about them? What should they be doing? Maybe they should be doing some side stuff that they consider fun too. I don't know. But Maddie's Rap here, right? So we rapping with you about this. What are your thoughts on that? Listen, let me break it down. I'm going to give you what the media is not talking about with regards to what my opinion is with regards to why maybe Billie Jean King made that comment. Okay, but before I do that, let me say this. You have to win 6 matches in a Grand Slam tournament just to get to the final, okay? The winner of the final in any Grand Slam has won 7 matches in 2 weeks, okay? You have to win 6 matches to get to the final. Was she focused enough to get those 6 wins prior to that final win? Was she focused enough then? I don't know. You tell me. So, getting back to my point, and I'll wrap this up with a little song for you all. Remember, the title of this one is Billie Jean is not my life coach, okay? Now, I personally think that Billie Jean King, and I got nothing against her. I mean, I didn't watch her play when I was younger. I watched, the females that were getting down when I was a kid were Chrissy Everett and Martina Navratilova. So I didn't really get to see Billie Jean King play in her prime, but I know her body of work just by looking at the books. So, but the thing is, I think that she has a vested interest in Serena tying and surpassing Margaret Court. All right? Okay, so some of you know where I'm going, right? You know, if you've been following tennis history, that that Margaret Court and Billie Jean King don't exactly call each other up to go out and have tea or coffee. They're not going out for lunch to have a girls' chat. The two didn't like each other, okay? So I think that Billie Jean, personally, this is my personal opinion, I think that Billie Jean King has a selfish interest in Serena winning number 24 and then 25. She wants her to win just so that Margaret Court isn't sitting with the record anymore. That's my opinion. Now, I'd like to hear in the comments what you guys think. Before I wrap this up, I want to say this because I sometimes forget. Please like and subscribe. And I'll be doing more and more of these videos. I'm digging it. I'm going to unveil my new logo that I'll be using for Maddie's Rap in an upcoming episode. The next episode, I'll unveil the logo. But so I want to hear you guys' thoughts. What do you think the real reason for why Billie Jean King is coming for Serena with her comments right now? And Billie Jean, she came back, she backpedaled. She said, look, this wasn't personal. I wasn't telling her she couldn't fight for rights or whatever she's doing, the rights of her people or women's rights or whatever, or equal pay and all this other stuff. She stepped it back. But again, later for all of that, let's kick that to the side. What I see a woman who didn't like the woman who's sitting at number 24 right now, and she wants Serena to tie her record and then beat it, so that her arch nemesis during her era is not sitting as the winningest female in Grand Slam history. But what do you guys think? So I'll wrap this up with the special surprise I have for you, and that's a little song called "Billie Jean Is Not My Life Coach." You may recognize this memory, but I'll send you guys out on this. Okay, I'll skip to the chorus. Here we go. But you know that song, okay? Billie Jean is not my life coach. She's just a girl who thinks I need to focus to get through. But I got more titles than you. Oh! Oh! Boom, 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 boom. Yo, I don't know why that popped in my head this morning. Billie Jean is not my life coach. She's just a girl who thinks I need to focus to get through. But I got more titles than you. Serena, that one was for you. So if you're watching this, Serena, when you're hearing these comments and you're reading them and this and that, just sing that little hook in your head. Billie Jean is not my life coach. Woo! She's just a woman who thinks I need to focus to get through. But I got more titles than you. How you gonna tell somebody they need to focus and they got more titles than you? Come on, really? Anyway, folks, thanks for watching. This is your boy Matt. Please like and subscribe. And listen, since we're on the topic of tennis, I want you to know that I published a great tennis book that is unlike any other tennis book on the market. I'll put a link in the description below. The title of that book is Captain's Mate, a practical guide for tennis captains, league players, and high school coaches. Now, while that book is catered more toward league tennis players, adult league, USTA tennis players, I've had wonderful feedback from former touring pros and some teaching pros that have told me, hey, Matt, those mental drills that you have in chapter 4 of your book, the mental game, are on point. And I would use them. I absolutely would use them if I were training in an active player right now, and I'm teaching these to my kids that I work with. So check it out. You get a chance. It's called Captain's Mate. I got some other books. I'll put the links in the description. And finally, my company, Talford Arts, is running a summer reading challenge where we're trying to give away 100. Our goal is to give away 100 free iBooks downloads of each of our titles. You can follow me on social media, Instagram. You can follow me at Matt D Talford. That's at MattDTalford, or at Talford Arts, TalfordArts. You'll see the link in the description. Hey, you guys, it's been a pleasure chatting with you. And listen, for Maddie's Rap, that's a wrap. Peace.